Wait, so Octavian, he was just a teenager when Caesar died, right? And suddenly he finds out he's Caesar's heir? That must have been insane.
Totally. Imagine being 18, off studying in Macedonia, and then you get news that not only is your great uncle dead, but he's adopted you as his son and left you 3/4 of his estate. And on top of that, you're now the heir to the most powerful man in Rome.
That's wild. Did Octavian even know Caesar was going to do that?
Nope, not at all. Caesar kept it secret. Octavian was just supposed to be getting some military training, maybe tagging along on a campaign. Suddenly he's thrust into the center of Roman politics, and everyone's watching to see what he'll do next.
So what did he do? I mean, he's just a kid. How do you even start?
Well, first, he heads straight back to Italy. But the second he arrives, he's got a problem, Mark Antony. Antony was Caesar's right-hand man, and he's not exactly eager to hand over Caesar's legacy to this teenager. There's instant tension.
So Antony just ignores Caesar's will? What? How did Octavian handle that?
Octavian was clever. He started building his own power base, raising an army of veterans loyal to Caesar, gathering money and making allies. But Antony refused to give him Caesar's inheritance. So Octavian did something bold. He teamed up with Cicero, the famous orator who hated Antony.
Wait, Cicero, wasn't he all about the Republic?
Well, exactly. Cicero thought he could use Octavian as a pawn to get rid of Antony and restore the Republic. He even got the Senate to declare Antony a public enemy and sent armies after him. But things didn't go as planned.
Let me guess. Octavian outmaneuvered everyone?
Pretty much. In a key battle near Mutina, Antony was defeated, but both consuls leading the Senate's armies died. That left Octavian in sole command of the military. He used that leverage to get himself made consul at just 20 years old.
20? That's younger than some college grads today. How did people react?
Some were shocked, but Octavian had the troops and the momentum. Then, in a twist, he ditched Cicero and made a deal with Antony and another powerful guy, Lepidus. Together, they formed the Second Triumvirate, a 3-man dictatorship that basically carved up the Roman world.
So much for the Republic. What did they do with all that power?
They went on a political purge. The triumvirs published lists of enemies' proscriptions. If your name was on the list, you were fair game. People were killed, property seized. Even Cicero, who'd helped Octavian, ended up at the top of the hit list. His head and hands were displayed in the forum as a warning.
That's brutal. So Octavian just turned on his old ally?
Yep, it was pure realpolitik. Octavian was ruthless. He used alliances when they suited him, then discarded them. And with Caesar's deification. Remember the comet at Caesar's funeral? People saw it as a sign he'd become a god. Octavian started calling himself a son of a god. That gave him even more legitimacy.
That comet thing? Was it really that big of a deal?
Huge. It was one of the brightest daylight comets ever recorded. Octavian built a temple to the divine Julius, with a statue of Caesar and a flaming comet on its forehead. It was like a cosmic PR campaign. Today, we'd call it branding.
So what happened to Caesar's assassins, Brutus and Cassius?
Octavian and Antony chased them down in Greece. The big showdown came at the Battle of Philippi. It was chaotic. Brutus actually beat Octavian's forces at first, but Antony crushed Cassius. Cassius, thinking all was lost, killed himself. Brutus held out for a few weeks, but eventually his army was defeated too. He also took his own life.
So that was it for the Republic?
Pretty much. After Philippi, there was no going back. Rome would never be a true republic again. Any future conflicts would just be about who got to rule, not about restoring democracy.
That's kind of like how power struggles work today, right? Once a system breaks, it's all about who gets the top spot, not about fixing the system.
Exactly. You see it in politics, in business. Once the old rules are gone, it's a scramble for power, and leaders use whatever tools they have, alliances, propaganda, even symbols like that comet. It's not so different from how politicians today use social media or public events to shape their image.
It's wild how Octavian went from nobody to the most powerful man in Rome just by being in the right place at the right time and knowing how to play the game.
And by being willing to do whatever it took. That's why his story matters now. It's a reminder that power isn't just about laws or titles. It's about perception, timing, and sometimes being ruthless. The way Octavian used alliances, propaganda, and even cosmic events to legitimize himself, we still see that playbook today.
So next time I see a politician using a big event or a catchy slogan, I'll remember Octavian did it first.
Exactly. History doesn't repeat, but it sure rhymes. And understanding how power was grabbed in ancient Rome helps us see the patterns in our own world.
Makes you wonder who's writing their own comet story right now.
That's the real lesson. Always look for the story behind the power, because it's never just about what's on the surface.
That's it for today's episode on Fun Learn Talks, where stories from business, technology, and history keep your curiosity alive. If you enjoyed the journey, make sure to follow, rate, or share it with a fellow curious mind. And hey, we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment or connect with us online. I'm Anu, and I'll catch you next time, right here on Fun Learn Talks. Until then, keep learning, keep wondering.